Hey guys, Digital Asset Daily here again. Not sure if you can hear there's a big huge festival going on. Hopefully that doesn't distract from recording this. Again, thanks for the patience. I want to make sure that I have so much content. I want to make sure that we kept the content flowing. Even though it's a little bit raw, we're just kind of face to face having a little discussion here, but I want to dive right into the information. Zelensky at the meeting in San Francisco calls on the top investors, venture capital funds to actively cooperate with Ukraine. And in case you're unaware, he just had a recent visit to the United States, and he is the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, and he met with top investors, representative of the venture funds and the Silicon Valley accelerators, and urged them to actively cooperate with Ukraine. And the website of the head of state reported. And he actually made a statement. I'm going to read his statement. It says, "Our country is rapidly transforming and adopting innovations. Over the past year, we have managed to make a real breakthrough in the digital sphere. And at the same time, we still need to do a lot." And Zelensky said, noting that over the past 2 years, Ukraine has made a huge leap towards creating a digital state, and the Ukrainian IT sector has significant potential, especially in human resources. Another thing too with Ukraine, I'm sure if you're an XLM investor, you probably already aware, and if you follow this channel for very long, you're already aware. Speaking of stellar, XLM is currently at 0.375657. But the thing that's very exciting about Ukraine is Ukraine government, even this year, picked Stellar. They did a trial, they did a test, and it was excellent. Everything went as well as they could imagine. But they picked Stellar Development Foundation to help build the national digital currency. So he's correct when he's stating that Ukraine is going digital, and the IT and everything that they're building and designing. And he was very smart to come into, basically talk to the IT department, the Silicon Valley accelerators, and the venture fund investors here in the USA, because even when you think back, Stellar is a US-based company. And diving back into Stellar, the energy use on Stellar, blockchain payment efficiency is examined. And Stellar Development Foundation actually posted a update on the background on Stellar and SCP. And the let's go into the article for a second. It says significant electricity consumption of proof of work cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I don't mind speaking of other other influencers such as Digital Asset Investor. I don't know if you've paid attention, but this year he has just unleashed on Ethereum and Vitalik Buterin, and it's been for good reason, because of the lawsuit with the SEC. They're basically turning a blind eye. I've kind of stayed a little bit neutral to that, but it's really absurd at this point. I mean, the SEC is literally just, turning its head. There's video after video after video of the SEC saying, here's what's a security, here's what's not a security. And literally over here, what we call a security, we have Vitalik Buterin over here basically saying word for word in his own, from his own mouth on stage, exactly what the SEC calls a security. So basically they're giving the free pass on this hand, no matter what they've said on this one. So the interesting thing is DAI, man, he has just been on fire with that. I've shared a couple of those because, it's impossible to look at. You have SEC saying this, and in the back-to-back he has Vitalik Buterin saying what he shouldn't. And that's pretty hard to dispute. It's for Ripple, I'm not sure what's going on with their perspective or their angle on this, but it's a pretty shut case. Ripple is going to win that hands down. XRP is just going to launch. If you look back, some of you have been around for a while and some of you are new, but if you look back to whenever, Bitcoin and Ethereum was given the green light, literally they took off. So imagine now XRP, which has been suppressed for years, and even going back to the 2017 bull run. I don't know how many of you were here actually for that, but if you look into the bull run as it launched, starting about December 15th, and it began to take off until about January, I think it was around the 18th of 2018. And once it hit the peak of around $3.84, that's where you had a lot of clear manipulation. And, the main websites had actually stopped sharing the Asian market. And I think I just accidentally deleted my entire show. Give me a moment. All right, so that was very exciting. I guess I got a little passionate into that conversation and I deleted everything. So I had to go back and search for all of the content I was going to share with you tonight. But short end of the short end of the conversation there is, I believe the Ripple will be absolutely cleared from this, and I'm not sure exactly what they're waiting for, what they're waiting on. Maybe just to blow this case completely out of the water and blow everyone's mind that's involved. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but as David Schwartz said on one of my posts from last year, we were talking about attorneys and this actual court case that's going on now, and he left a comment saying our attorneys have good words. And if you look at who their attorneys are, if you know anything about law and big name cases with big name attorneys, then you understand who is defending Ripple. And if you look again at everyone that's involved, from the board of directors, who creates future money, Rosa Rios, etc., they have the who's who of financial world in basically in the team of Ripple. So they're headed for a great future. And basically, let's get back into this conversation really quick, because even Stellar, which, I can't have a conversation with Ripple without mentioning Stellar and vice versa, flipping it back and forth. But even when Stellar is mentioning this about the proof of work, cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, basically has caused critical examination of how consensus and blockchain solutions is designed. So in a world with ongoing climate crisis, which they're promoting right now at the World Economic Forum, etc., the leaders of the world, the climate crisis, so substantial reduction in energy usage is required across all sectors. So including the increasingly digital financial infrastructure, if a network such as Stellar is to become an integral part of the financial system's infrastructure, it is necessary that the technology be environmentally sustainable. And that's something, obviously, that is happening, and we continue to show over and over and over again. And we believe, Denell Nixon and the people involved with Stellar are doing amazing things with a different focus and a different lane comparable to what Ripple's doing. But again, they have a broader focus, a broader area by design, where Ripple has a little more laser-like focus on a specific design and in the lane that they have chosen. And we've shown tons and tons of reasoning why and videos on that, and discussed it as well, and shown you tons of content. We don't discuss anything without showing you the actual content as well. So during this trip that I'm in right now, you're going to have some face-to-face with me, and it's kind of difficult at the moment to connect all of these. But outside of this and the traditional videos that we make, every single content that we discuss will always be available in the description below. During this face-to-face video series we're doing right now, until I'm back home in the studio, it's a little bit challenging to do that. So it kind of is what it is at this point. But I want to keep moving forward. Didn't mean to get so passionate, kind of rant onto that, but I think it's a big deal, because jumping right back in, as I say, I didn't mean to go into that, but the SEC, their whole focus is they're stating to be there to defend and protect the retail investors. But yet at the same time, at this point in this current moment in time, it seems that the SEC is the only hindrance or roadblock for retail investors at this time. Even go back to the beginning of the year where XRP, for the first time since the last bull run, had surged past $1. It was, or I should say, the last time it had surged past $1, it was on a pretty exciting climb. And then SEC attacked them again, and then all of the exchanges started delisting and removing XRP from the platform to where it made it harder to get inside the USA as a US customer. So again, you can see how that hurt them pretty significantly in the US base and the US market. So again, if you're saying that you're here to defend the retail investor, the only thing that has happened at this point has hurt the retail investor. And that's been very, very significant. As a lot of people, on this show, we say, don't invest more than you can afford to throw away, or something that you can afford to hold for 10 years and kind of forget about it. That's the perspective that we share our personal journey on this show and show the content and discuss the content. Is basically from our personal journey. And I think it kind of coincides with many of you as investors. But another thing I want to discuss is Bit and Stellar Development Foundation were also selected as finalists for the Global CBDC Challenge. So this is pretty exciting as well, because what did Danelle Dixon say? She wanted to be basically Stellar XLM, basically to become the currency. And I think she's done a significant job on making that happen and seeing that dream come true, or that become a reality, I guess you can say. Even from the beginning of this conversation tonight, this discussion, even the video, we had Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, which they have already chosen Stellar to become their national currency, or based off of their national currency. So getting into the article a little bit, the SDF have been announced as one of the 15 finalists for the MAS, which is a monetary authority of Singapore, their global CBDC challenge to develop and showcase retail, that's the key word here, retail central bank digital currency, the CBDC solution. And again, as we've shown over and over again, we were discussing XLM, XDC, Zenfin's XDC yesterday. And as we were discussing, and we've shown from the beginning of this channel, XDC is focused on trade finance, and every article we've shown, they state word for word, trade finance. So again, as we've shown for, since 2019, how Ripple is, are you kidding me? It just deleted it again. Okay, so it happened again. I'm gonna try and keep moving forward. I'm using a very, very, very sensitive laptop with all my notes on it, and it's touchscreen and more. So I found out it is very sensitive. So again, guys, bear with me. Just got everything back up on the screen again. And luckily you can bring up your history and you can bring up your files if you accidentally delete them. So either way, I think this is a very significant deal. Sorry if I've kind of gotten off track a couple times from deleting basically the entire show. So let's get to this final article here. Stronghold launches a rewards program for technology partners and business customers to enhance payment infrastructure loyalty. So Stronghold, let's see if I'm trying to keep my hands up off the screen or away from the computer. So something is set extra sensitive right now, and it's a little bit crazy. I have actually deleted the show 2 times now, and let's keep moving forward. So into the article, Stronghold, a payments and financial infrastructure company, has launched a new program to reward early network members, including select technology partners and business customers. Stronghold's proprietary payments network spans old and new rails to enable interoperability, and that's a big word, it's a key word, interoperability between legacy systems and modern real-time payments. And again, what else have we shown for the past 2 years? Literally, Stronghold here mentions word for word is, let's repeat that again if we get into it. Stronghold's proprietary payments network spans old and new rails to enable interoperability between legacy systems and modern real-time payments. So that's a pretty significant deal. There's more to this article as well, and I think Stronghold is doing an amazing job. And again, of course, I like Stronghold because it's built upon the Stellar network, which is an amazing thing. Congrats to Danelle Dixon, Jed McCaleb over at Stellar, and congrats to everyone at Stronghold for your efforts and your hard work. And again, On this channel, we've shown how XRP, XLM, XDC, and VET are all in different lanes. And of course, I place them even in different lanes when I have this discussion or mention that, because I think it's very important. And I think a lot of people, new investors, tend to see that there are communities and little like cliques within the crypto world, but I think they don't really understand or realize that it's not going to be like a one-sum game or a one currency takes them all, so to speak, and it becomes the winner, the one single choice. It's not even an option. It's not even a possibility. Even when you have, 21 million of one asset, 100 billion of another asset, and even cut in half, for example, how Stellar burned like half the supply, and even the guys at Ripple had locked up half the supply, and then they released $1 billion each month. 500 million gets put back, 500 million gets put back, because it was doing singular billions, and then they split it into two different 500 million, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to go into that conversation. You've been around. If you know Ripple, you know XRP, you know what I'm talking about. But having said that, they have what I call the XRP pool, the Ripple pool, so to speak. The Ripple has like the XRP pool, and there's a lot of discussion. We all have different opinions or different like theories on what that is, and time will tell. To me, I've gone into a few different theories on what I think it means, but it's really irrelevant. But when you understand where, for example, Ripple by design is headed for the enterprise, the institution, and the wholesale market, when you understand the volume, of the financial institutions, even Swift, I believe it was somewhere around like $5 trillion a day that even the volume of Swift moves on the legacy system. It's basically like a texting, like a network. And then you have to have the banks, with the trust system or the lack of trust system, so to speak, confirm and resend each other the finance. Where Ripple, or I should say XRP, the XRP is instantaneous, immediate, instant settlements, the real-time payment system. And yes, there's a handful of different assets involved with that, and you can have different conversations. And I know a lot of people are involved in different assets, have quant or connecting systems, etc. And then it connects to SIA, and then that's where it gets used on, example like R3 Corda. Yes, XRP is part of that as well, and even through, oh man, I'm blanking, Envoy or something. I'm totally just had a blank moment. Sorry, after totally deleting 2 shows tonight, I'm having a blank moment. So I apologize if this is wrong for this comment, but you understand we've discussed it in plenty of shows. I believe it's Envoy or something is the indirect connection of Corda directly to Stellar as well. And then even we've shown how recently how for lack of a better term, the default for Corda is now XDC, and we've shown how XDC is even officially now into the 19 trillion like trade finance market, and there's so much more coming out from Andre Casterman, and he's stating all of this is immediate, and they're going to start releasing the news over the next few weeks. So again, this is very, very exciting, and I didn't mean to keep going on. It's been a very exciting for me, I think it's been a very exciting week for all of the content that's being released in the news from all of these companies, these assets, and everyone involved. I believe that these companies are working extremely hard. And if you think your frustration as an investor is high, imagine how the executives have to be when they've, been basically busting their butts for years to make all of this come out on a timeline and on a structure. And then you have the delay from the attacks of the SEC. And imagine even on a different level. Now imagine you see Bitcoin and you see Ethereum that are totally giving free pass. And you see XRP, which through Ripple has followed the regulations from day one, like literally to the T, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, as they say. Ripple has followed every regulator. That's the reason, even from the beginning, it had a huge attack from, the BTC community, because the BTC community was like, at the beginning, we're talking the pioneering stages, was like anti-bank. We're going to shut them down. We're going to replace them. We're going to use Bitcoin. We don't need the bank. And then you had the attack on Ripple and XRP because it followed every single rule that was, I guess you could say available, or that that even the CNBC, the MSN, the CNN, all of the, even Fox News had the business network and the like the stocks and the crypto discussions. Even they thought there was clarity as well, using the same rules that BTC and Ethereum used to get the free pass. XRP was following those guidelines through Ripple as Ripple guided them along, and then they were the ones to get attacked. So you can see there's a lot of frustration there, and it's something that happened earlier, which just as I deleted the first show, which was part of that discussion. As XRP was getting up to its peak around, let's see, I think it took off around December 15th. It kind of took a launch, and then around January, I think 18th of 2018, give or take, if you were from there, you'll know what I'm talking about. It had peaked at around $3.84, but the thing with that, that's whenever the, I don't want to name any names, but the websites that host the coins, that place them on their first, second, third category, and how they show the pricing. That's when they were dropping off the Asian market, which literally looked like Ripple was crashing, or XRP was crashing. So if you've been here for a long time, then you know that OpenCoin became Ripple. OpenCoin had Ripples, which is now XRP. So if you've been here a while, you tend to just do that by accident, just because it's how it used to be. Ripple used to be called OpenCoin, XRP used to be called Ripples, and then they would say Ripple and Ripples, and it just became a whole. If you weren't here from back in the day, from the pioneering days, you probably say it's not Ripple, it's XRP. But if you've been here since 2015, 2012, etc., then you understand OpenCoin became Ripple, Ripples became XRP, etc. And even David Schwartz has left a few comments stating that he kind of liked when Ripple, the company, which is actually Ripple Labs Inc., and there's a whole lot of discussion there too. I don't even want to get into that between the previous execs, who have a little dispute there as well. But having said that, he said he liked when XRP was called Ripples, and that was in a few comments. I'm sure you can search that up on Twitter, and you can search that up on Google or whatever. All right, I got to cut this short because having to do this from the cell phone, my battery is saying that it is dying. So I want to leave you with a final thought. Act as if what you do makes a difference, because it does. And that is a significant thing, because everything that you do as a person, whether it's business or for fun, everything matters. And much love to each and every one of you. And I want to say thanks to our VIP on Patreon. Thank you, Surfmeister. I appreciate all of your support, and that goes for everyone. If you can hear my voice, I'm talking to you. And again, guys, much love, and we'll catch you in the next one.